Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel called In Touch with Cultures. As you know, my name is Adriana, I come from Poland, I'm a French and Polish teacher, a PhD in linguistics, living the multicultural life and embracing it in its totality. As you also may know, my big dream is to create the safe space for intercultural exchange so that everyone, no matter his cultural background or identity, can share his viewpoint and can also participate in an interesting discussion. And without further ado, I would like to really invite you all to click on the subscribe button and to like my videos, my podcasts, and also to comment on them. I would really appreciate it. Today's topic that we are bringing to the table is rather the answer on the question what my partner, what my fiancé, who is French-Moroccan, thinks about Poland and Polish society, Polish people in general. You might be interested why he's not here with me, why we don't have together the interview, but the answer is really simple. He is quite shy as a person and I don't want to force him to come here with me and to participate in this discussion. But you may be sure that everything that I will talk about today it is his concerns, his opinions, and also my opinions about Poland and Polish and about our cultural differences. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. So, first of all, I would like to talk about language. So it may be obvious, it may not be obvious, it may be strange, but what is the language that we are communicating every single day? And no, it is not French. Although it might seem more natural to communicate in French because I know French, I teach French, and my partner, of course, he is a native speaker of French, but we do not communicate in French, but in English. Maybe because when we started our adventure, our relationship, we started to communicate in English, and then somehow our brain associates the concrete person with the concrete language, so it is difficult to maintain the conversation in French. Sometimes we are starting the conversation in English or in French, then we are mixing, in fact, those two languages, sometimes without even being conscious about this fact. And also my fiance is sometimes using Ponglish, like in the word mushroomki, which means mushrooms, but with Polish ending ki. He also knows some cute words like my little mouse or my little fish. These are the words myszko, rybko that we are using to our darling, to our honey. And of course, he also knows some bad words, but it is quite normal for someone who is learning a new language. So this is the language in our case. Now let's maybe dive in what he thinks about Polish women, about their beauty and charm. Of course, Polish women, they are known for their beauty, for their charm, all over the world. But what he noticed is that Polish women, they are so feminine. They are wearing dresses, they are going to hairdresser, they quite often change their haircut, they are dyeing their hair, they are doing facials, they are wearing makeup, sometimes even very strong makeup. They are making their manicure, and they are wearing dresses, very colorful dresses. So we were discussing that French women, they are also known for their elegance, for their chic, for their unique style, which reminds me more of the style of Coco Chanel. and they have this look, makeup no makeup. They use but they use rather neutral colors like beige, like white, like black, like sometimes red. So it is rather classic, yes, rather classic. But Polish, they like to look a little bit different. They like to be noticed by Polish men, which was our other discussion, because he was surprised why Polish men are not complimenting enough Polish women, why they are not saying the compliments, they are not telling the compliments to the women. And it may also be the reason why many Polish women they don't have a high self-esteem. It is also part of that, and of course we were discussing that the people in the south, so like people in France, in Greece, in Portugal, I don't know, in Morocco, of course, in Tunisia and Egypt, they are complimenting women, men, even, sorry for my French, even too much, even too often, which can be also irritating. So we have to find some common sense in that. So yes, this was our remark. And also, my partner thinks that Polish women, they are natural born wife material, natural mothers, yes, that we are having this intuition, this instinct, this maternity inside of us. And he told that it is the wonderful combination, because many of us are pursuing the beautiful career, we are so well educated, and moreover we are good at preparing the dishes, we are taking care of the children, which is not always the case in the Western Europe and also in the Northern Europe. Because I didn't tell you, but my partner was sharing his life in many countries, and he was living in Morocco, in France, but also in Norway. And of course, the women they are more like feminists, and Polish women they are also feminists, but they are not only feminists. There is also this stereotype of a perfect mother, of a perfect Polish mother, perfect Polish wife, which also is true, and this is maybe the reason why many foreigners are dreaming about us, about having such a wife. In general, what my partner thinks about also other Polish people, like the Polish nation, he thinks that we are really well educated, that we have the enormous knowledge about history, geography, other countries, that we are interested, that we are curious. And he finds it awesome that we have such a knowledge, because it is not always the case of other countries. And on the other side, he thinks that we are a little bit closed, a little bit reserved. When you first meet a person, especially when you are a foreigner, but it is also between Polish. Polish are a little bit reserved. But with time, and of course with the amount of alcohol, the situation can change completely, and Polish can be your best friend. And we were also discussing that, for example, American, they are very extrovert, they are very optimistic, and they start the conversation very easily with you. But it is really difficult to have really close contact with them, like in the further relationship, because it is always this level, I don't know how even to call it, this level who is not so deep, yes. And with Polish, of course you need some time, but when the Polish becomes your best friend, you may be sure that it will be your friend for forever. For bad times, for good times, you can count on this person, and it is amazing. Also, I would like now to talk a little bit about xenophobia, and also racism in Polish society. So we are calling it open racism, rather, and it is due to the fact, I think, that we were also discussing it, that there are a lot of either the lack of information, either the misinformation about the foreigners, about the refugees in Poland, which results in a lack of trust. In a lack of trust. But when Polish people get to know you better, if you are a foreigner, they are questioning, they are really curious about you, and with time, they have less doubts. If you explain well the mechanism of your culture, they have less doubts, and they feel they are more approachable, we can say. And it is very good, and I guess that Polish people, Polish nation has changed a lot, not only because now, of course, since 2004 we are the part of European Union, but also due to this globalization, due to this influx of immigrants, due to the education. I think that Poland now, Polish people are really open-minded. And also my partner, he didn't feel that someone hates him just because he is a foreigner, he may look different, etc. Not only our family members, not only our like friends, but also people on the street. They are nice to him. When we go to Biedronka, the people are trying to talk in English. They are smiling. They are helpful. Yes. And I'm so grateful for that the situation changes. And now let's talk a little bit about the family. The first thing, we had this discussion about should I change my surname after being married, and I didn't want to be disrespectful and I didn't want to be offensive, so I told, okay, I will change. I will have double-barreled surname, and I was asking about that, but I was quite shocked because he told me that it is not a problem for him, that I can do whatever I would love to do, because women in Morocco, they don't change their surname after marriage, and it stays unchanged. So it was quite a surprise. Also, when it comes to the family, about the titles, yes. So I have Aunt Stenia and Uncle Jurek, and my partner wanted to say Stenia and Jurek, and I told no, it's not possible. You have to count Aunt Stenia and Uncle Jurek. Yes, sometimes he doesn't understand why we are overusing those titles when it comes to the family members, but also when it comes to professions, why we are using Pan, Pani, Mr., Mrs. all the time, why we have to be so official. But this is how we are. This is simply how we are. It may be different in France, and it is different in France, but here in Poland it is like that, and we have to accept it. And also we had this discussion about how I will call my mother-in-law when we get married. And in Morocco you are calling her my aunt, not my mom. So it was another difference between us. And also now I would like to discuss the parties and how Polish people are hosting the others. So he was surprised that Polish people love to have a party, yes, but not necessarily in their place. Sometimes they would rather go to the other person's place and have a party there. But if we are inviting someone, we are well prepared for that. We have a huge amount of food, and we are giving the best of ourselves to this person. And here we are again very similar to Moroccan people who are doing exactly the same. Another topic was religion, that Polish people are religious, that we are really well dressed on Sunday, and that we even have special outfits, special shoes, and that the rituals, that the traditions, the customs, in which religion is involved, they are so present, so visible in our day-to-day basis. And also in Morocco, this is the same. And although the Christianity and Islam are different, they share the same values. Uh, and uh, and this is something we have in common, in fact. So this was religion, and now let's talk a little bit about food. First of all, he was surprised that Poland is the capital of pork. That even when during COVID time we wanted to have takeaway from Uber Eats and we wanted to taste something new like ramen, the ramen was with pork. And it was quite surprising that even ramen is adapted to Polish clients and Polish people, because Polish people love eating pork. Also that the prices of alcohol are so low in Poland, and that alcohol is it is not the same in France, it is not the same in Morocco. The prices are high, it is not quite common, it is not so available as it is in Poland. And we are also making pierogi. We are mixing three cultures. So we are using the French cake for that. We are using the Moroccan spices, and we have the shape of Polish pierogi. So we are serving it to our guests, and I must admit that they like it. They really like it. They find it a nice dish. And also my partner was surprised that we are using that we love ketchup, that we love mayonnaise, that we love garlic sauce, that we are using it, for example, to pizza, which was profanation for him, but it is simply how we are, and that we use a lot of salt, a lot of flour, and also a lot of sugar, a lot of sweets, and also Moroccan are eating a lot of sweets, but of course French too, like with their croissant or pain au chocolat, etc. These are another similarities, but we are not, of course, using so many spices like Moroccan, for example. And also about the hours that we are eating. So of course, Polish people, they are eating a huge breakfast. I'm always so hungry in the morning, and we are eating the huge breakfast, the huge also dinner, but the supper not necessarily. And we stop eating about 6 p.m. While French and Moroccan, they are becoming hungry even at I don't know 8 p.m. or even later. This is another difference. The notion of time, the perception of time is different, because Polish people, they are always on time, they are so punctual, they are always pressed and stressed, and time is money for us. We want to have everything planned. We are perfectionists when it comes to time, and we are on time to the hairdresser, we are on time to the doctor, we are on time on the meetings. While French and Moroccan, it is rather dolce far niente, so no pressure, we don't have to be in rush, we don't have to accelerate, we can take our time, why not? I remember when I was in Paris and I went to the hairdresser, I wanted to have a new haircut, and I had to keep on waiting a whole day to get this haircut. And I was so impatient, and I couldn't understand. It was unbelievable for me, because in Poland it is completely different. When you fix the appointment, you fix the appointment, you go to hairdresser, in 1 hour you are done, yes, and you don't have to waste all day for that. But this is something that I'm learning, that I can be spontaneous. I don't have to plan everything in advance. It's the difference, but also something that I'm learning with time, that you can take your time to really how to say cherish this life, and to drink a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Why not? To spend time on it. Like Moroccans, they are drinking a cup of mint tea, and they are having a nice conversation. So yes, this is completely different. And also he was surprised about the fact that Polish people are so keen on having the pets, yes, like the dog or the cat, that almost everyone is having the pet and is walking with this pet and is talking to this dog, and the dogs have different races, and that the people are starting the conversation with a passenger, with a stranger just passing by. And it is also a nice topic to start to engage the conversation. It would be a little bit more difficult without this pet near us. Yes, so it was something surprising, because, for example, people in Paris, they are stressed because it is a capital, they are in rush, there are a lot of traffics, etc. They don't have time, and even though if they have pets, they are rather small pets, not like the big one, and not so various types of pets like in Poland. So it is generally the next thing which was different between us, and also about the weather and the nature and the sport in Poland. So the weather, of course, it can be really horrible, especially during this season, during autumn, during winter, and it is also why Polish people may be so pessimist, why they may be complaining a lot, because it is also due to the climate. While the people from south, they are different, they are optimistic, they are smiling, etc. But he understood that, and he loved Polish forests, Polish fields, that there are a lot of them everywhere. He really appreciated that when we had a small tour in eastern Poland, because of course the nature in Morocco is rather desertic, and in France it is rather industrial, and in Poland we have a lot of green areas. We have also the paths for the people who are biking, who are jogging, who are roller skating. So the people are active, the older people, they are keen on Nordic walking, and this was also his remarks, and he loved that. So that Poland is really active when it comes to sport. And in general, this is everything that I wanted to mention today, and I'm so curious about your opinion. Did you like it? And please don't give me any hates in the comments, because I will not tolerate it. I think we can all be cultural, and we can all have this elegance in our conversation. We can all be intelligent, and we don't have to hurt anyone or harm anyone. So please be gentle and be soft in your comments, but also share your point of view. Maybe you have the same situation, maybe you are living with a foreigner, or you have different experiences, because for example, me and my partner, we are watching the programs like I Come From Poland, Jestem z Polski, or No to lecę, about Polish who are traveling all over the world, who are discovering new places, and that they are so open-minded, etc. And I love this program, and I know that also you have those experiences, so don't be afraid to share them in the comments. I will be really happy if you do it, and I wish you a beautiful day, and see you next time, my beautiful people. Bye bye.